That was sexy.
Alright,
Does that mean we're starting?
All right, let me test our levels. So, Paige, what was your favorite thing about the beer fest?
The beer?
Oh, the guy bringing us this big giant bucket of beer and beer.
Beer and
Shout
beer.
out to that guy. Well, I was going to say wine, but we brought the wine.
Yeah,
Okay. Ryan, what was your favorite thing about the beer fest? Actually, that's the same microphone. Never mind.
Oh,
All right, Jason, what was your favorite thing?
The sun.
The sun?
Yeah, it was warm.
It was nice.
Your forehead didn't seem to agree with
No.
that sentiment.
No.
All right, Courtney, what was your favorite thing about the beer fest?
Peer pressuring
You're
people.
too far away. You got to get like 2 fingers away.
Oh. Peer pressuring people into
2 fingers.
peer pressuring people.
That's not even a full finger. So think.
Look, I clearly don't know my
Okay,
measurements.
there we go.
Just turn her up.
Turn me up. Turn me up, Daddy.
Whoa! All right, let's kick this thing off. Coffee with the Coaches, episode 14, coming to you from the Mega Desk.
Mega desk.
And the Mega Desk is crowded today.
It's crowded.
We've got, it's kind of sweaty in here. There's
I'm
too
sweaty.
many of us, so there's a lot of body heat going on around this Mega Desk right now.
There's a lot of hot air.
Get comfortable, y'all. Microphone number 1, it's me. I'm Michael. Microphone number 2 is actually being shared by 2 people today. We've got Paige,
Kind of. Hello.
and we've got Ryan.
hola.
No.
What language is that, Ryan?
Spanish.
This is, I should have mentioned already that this is the Beer Fest edition
Yeah.
of Coffee with the Coaches. So it actually is beer with the coaches today. We have a giant bucket of beer right here in the middle of the Mega Desk.
And wine.
And also wine. Microphone number 3. We've got a guest. His name is,
super special one.
yeah, super special guest. His name is Jason Campbell.
Hello,
We
hello.
finally got him on the podcast. And then on number 4, we've got Courtney, Sweet Bugs.
Bugs in the house.
And it's just going to get wild today.
We've
We
been out
really-
in the sun for a while and had several beers, so this will be interesting.
Yeah.
So we're gonna tell some really good dad jokes.
Yeah. Okay, so Courtney got us right into it. You know,
Okay, can I go first? Because I'm really bad at telling jokes.
so
Courtney,
you want to get yours out of the way?
before, this is a special edition with the beer.
Yeah.
We need a Michael cheers before we jump into the dad
Michael
jokes.
Michael cheers?
Oh,
Michael
yeah.
cheers.
Oh, man,
You guys can
put me on
cheers
the
to
spot.
me, yeah.
Okay.
No.
You gotta give us
No,
a good one.
let's.
We need a Michael toast.
No. This is not that kind of podcast. None of mine are rated under triple
He
X.
doesn't have any.
Yeah, these don't work for recorded
Okay.
situations.
Okay.
We're already telling his stupid jokes.
This is true.
Okay, so we've got to open this thing with a dad joke. Courtney wants to go first.
Yeah, because I'm really bad and I have to read it off.
All right, so let's hear yours, Courtney.
Why do seagulls fly over the ocean?
I don't know why.
Because if they flew over the bay, we'd call them bagels. I get the
Yeah,
pity.
that's dumb. I'm happy. I'm
I
happy
get
with
the
that.
pity clap from Ryan.
So, let's see. I think our super special guest should go next. So, Jason, I know we haven't really. Probably everybody listening to this knows Jason anyway. But we'll do his introduction later.
Do an official introduction.
Let's jump straight into the dad joke. Hit us with it, Jason.
All right, so backstory. Obviously, I'm a fan of the podcast.
Okay.
That goes without saying.
All right.
Super subscriber. I pay extra. Backstory on the dad jokes. Obviously, I know Michael is famous for the shitty jokes. The bad dad jokes. All the bad jokes.
I think dad and bad are synonymous.
Yeah.
A dad joke is just inherently a bad joke. That's the point.
But
So
Michael's are way worse.
Yes. Absolutely. So we're at Mega Desk. This is mega bad.
Oh. Okay.
Backstory though, so I work with a guy from Michigan, and I have found out that Michigan is basically Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's American Canada.
Yeah, syrup and winter. That's all they have.
Okay.
He's big into dad jokes, so every single day, shout out Jared, every single day he would show me a dad joke. So I was prepared.
All right.
Been a dad myself for 21 years.
Don't rest on your laurels, man. You got to come with it. If you're showing up at the mega desk, you better come with a good one.
Yeah, so I'm really amping this up. It's going to be a letdown, but here we go. So
All right. The floor is yours.
my wife just left me.
Wow, we're off to a dark start.
She says life revolves around football. I don't get it. We've been together for 7 seasons.
Did your Michigan buddy tell that one to you?
He did not. I have 10 here prepared.
Oh
And
my god.
I had some better ones, and Michael heard them last week, so I'll give you a bonus dad joke.
Bonus
okay?
shot. We should rotate. Like let's go around and then we'll come back to
No,
it.
wait.
Can I
I
do
want to hear
mine?
Jason's
I only
first.
have one.
Can you do mine? Because I got nothing.
Well, you need a microphone.
Well, I'm saying I have nothing. That's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
you don't have a dad joke?
No, yeah.
Okay,
No,
fine.
you
Jason,
do.
you tell Ryan's dad joke.
Okay. I quit my job as a treadmill tester. It wasn't going anywhere.
All right, I like it. All right, so
good.
since Ryan doesn't have one,
No, Ryan has one.
he does have
not-
one.
it's-
Tell us your joke about foul.
It's just a
Tell
pickup
us your
line.
foul joke. Okay, we'll tell it.
So I tell you that story how me and Paige met and how I got with her.
Uh huh.
So I was playing basketball and she was a referee, and I was
Okay.
calling. Why you give me a foul? I said, what foul? I didn't call no foul. And I said, yeah, I fall in love with you.
Paige knew right then.
So
If
when
you're
you
not watching
said-
this video, you gotta watch his creepy ass face after he said that.
Stop. So when you said that you had a joke about fowl earlier, I thought you were talking about birds.
All right, country woman.
That's the way you said it.
Hunting,
You said fowl,
fishing.
which I guess is technically the correct way to say it.
Paige is from Essex. Give her a break. All right, Paige, you're up. Dad joke. Let's
I'm
hear
gonna
it.
recycle the one that I said on Instagram the other day, just because it was so great.
That was a good one. We'll all laugh like we never heard it.
You want to hear a joke about paper?
Yeah.
No, never mind. It's terrible.
I did see that one.
All right.
Paige, you deserve to be punched for that.
All right. What do you call the syrup with a speech impediment?
I don't know.
Mrs. Stuttersworth.
I feel like people listening to this just like
Wah, wah, wah.
shake their head in
Okay.
shame.
Since Jason got to tell 2, I've got another one.
Oh, you gotta outdo Jason.
If Steven Seagal removed all animal products from his diet, what would he be called?
I don't know.
Vegan Seagal.
I knew that one because you said it last weekend.
Well, you
Yeah,
reused one.
so
too.
I didn't want to. Yeah, that's true. I did.
All
Is
right.
there like something I'm not getting here? Because that was not funny.
It's a dad joke. It's not meant to be funny. It's meant to be stupid.
Okay.
All right, so let's see. I think really the main point of this podcast was to get Jason down here. We've
Yeah.
been trying to make this happen for a while. He's one of our OG original CrossFitters from way back in the other gym. I know, let's see, you started CrossFit back in, what was it, August of 2015, if I remember correctly.
Yep, nailed it.
So you've been at this for a while.
I have. First off, I want to say congratulations. This place is beautiful. I
Hey,
haven't-
thanks, man.
No, I seriously, you guys. When I started CrossFit, it was a shed.
Oh,
Let's
man,
be
it
honest.
was
Awful
a
in there.
bootleg
Like every other
warehouse
CrossFit
when
gym
we
in
first started.
2013, 14.
Exactly. So it was exactly what I expected when I walked in. So I wasn't underwhelmed.
And he loved it.
I wasn't overwhelmed. I was like, okay.
Just went.
There's a lot of dust in here.
Well,
He
Yeah.
was just whelmed.
Yeah, a lot of dust. And one of the things that I remember vividly from the old gym is
mosquitoes.
mosquitoes is
Oh
one.
my God, they
Once
were
it got
so bad
dusk,
over there.
yeah, the pond, mosquitoes flocking in. But the corners, especially when you're doing wall balls, there was no air circulation back in the
Yeah,
corners.
it was
so
like a sauna in the
yeah.
corners.
Yeah,
there was no
a-
airflow.
Exactly. So there was a few times in a workout, especially one that if you had to run and then come in, do wall balls, I would say, hey, Michael, I'm about to pass out. If I do, it's okay. But I'm just letting you know if I fall, this is why. So it was miserable. And honestly, I learned to love it. I quickly fell in love with the sport. Because it's fitness, but it was a sport to me. I'm extremely competitive. That's why it was so easy for me to get into it.
Yeah.
It was an easy transition for me, and we can dive down that. But back to my original point, congratulations to the Hoffs, Paige. Paige has, I know what she means to you and to the business, but walking into
We
the
wouldn't
gym.
be here without her, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And walking into the gym today, I had to jump on Instagram because I've been here since you've been in the new building. Obviously, I was here for a couple of years before we moved to St. Louis, but it's beautiful. The gym I'm in now it's an amazing CrossFit gym, an amazing community, but what you've built here is something that I miss every single day. So just wanted to start out by saying congratulations. The garage door, cannot wait to come back and do an actual, I may just run out of it anyway when we leave today, but it's a beautiful place. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks, man. Thanks for all the kind
Jason.
words.
I feel like I have some tears.
Aw.
Yeah.
The ladies are going to squirt some tears.
If I poke myself in the eye, I'll work on it.
But seriously, thanks, man. I really appreciate the kind words. That really means way more than I could ever actually express.
And we missed the shit out of you.
Hell yeah.
Well, thank you. Yeah,
And Val.
sadly, Val, she had
sad
to
she's
work
not
this
here
weekend. She's supposed to be at work right now. She got some food poisoning or something, so she's at home. So I told her that, hey, we can reschedule. I can stay home, take care of you. She's like, no, and I said, okay, real quick. And immediately left. I was out. So, and it happened to line up for a perfect weekend. BeerFest, sun was shining. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it turned out really nice. We've actually been at the beer fest all day today. We had our workout this morning at 8 o'clock. Immediately moved everything downtown, which is only 2 blocks down, but we moved everything down to get the beer fest set up, and we've just been there all day having a lot of fun. We set up a booth. We had the bikes set up, kind of going back and forth. If you haven't seen our Instagram story, check that out. You can kind of get the vibe. But it's been a lot of fun. It really has. And I'm glad you could make it down for that, too.
We got to peer pressure a lot of people into cycling really hard and almost puking. It was pretty fun.
It was only 30 seconds. Nobody came close to puking.
Sorry, we roped you into cleaning everything up with us.
No.
Hey, that breakdown happened fast, though. I mean, we broke that down
Shout out to Jason and
Jason Davis.
Blake
Hickman.
Yeah.
He really helped us out. Brian. Thanks,
Brian.
y'all. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
and the guy that gave us the bucket of beer.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
he's
don't
a
know who
real
that guy
MVP.
was. He just walked over and just handed us
I
a
think he
bucket
was-
full of beer.
I think he was one of the distributors with like that does Coors. Or
He was one of the distributors
Ralph's
downtown,
distributors or
yeah.
something like that.
Beer
I think-
Fairy.
Yeah,
The
beer
beer
fairy.
fairy.
Exactly.
Thanks,
He
Beer
was
Fairy.
our beer angel. So
Yeah.
I know, Jason, I guess, how long has it been since you guys actually moved up to St. Louis?
So we moved back November 2019, so a little over a year now we've been in St. Louis, and
Okay.
and we absolutely love it. It's good to come home. It's good to see people that we don't see every day. Obviously, we miss a lot of the people that really our gym community. We had some really good neighbors as well that we miss. We stay in touch with those, but you guys come up quite a bit. You actually have your own bedroom in our new place.
That's right.
Yeah.
Our own bathroom.
Yeah, so I just had to get you a dedicated bedroom to get invited onto the podcast, but hey, whatever it takes.
So me and Courtney, we go up to visit them like once every 3 months or so, but we'll stay a couple nights with them.
More
And so,
often than that.
well, I'm kind of downplaying this just to make it sound a little more ridiculous that he's calling it our bedroom. But yeah, well, they just moved into actually a new place in St. Louis, and we've been joking about how their second bedroom is actually going to be our bedroom. So it's kind of been a running joke for a little bit.
We're gonna have to
Speaking
leave our
of-
toothbrush.
You guys are in a baller apartment on Washington Avenue, and then you moved to Ballpark Avenue.
And
What's
even-
up with that?
An even more baller apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
awesome.
it's thank you, and we're very fortunate. We both, and when I say we, Val works very hard.
Yeah.
She's the sugar mama.
Yeah, she's extremely talented, so that's why I had to really make sure I focus on my fitness. To
Trophy
keep,
husband status.
you
You
know,
gotta at least look good.
that's it. I've got to at least try keep the appearance up if she takes me out. It's a tough job, but good work if you can get it.
Well, hey, Jason, I know that you said that you've been pretty competitive, and I know you're talking about doing this powerlifting meet. So, are you still doing CrossFit, or are you adding in powerlifting training, or what are you doing?
Yeah, so interesting that you bring that up, Courtney, because obviously, let's go back a little bit, not to go way down the road, but go back to when I first started CrossFit. I was a slob, to say what it was. I was, if we go back to, honestly, if we go back to a year before I started CrossFit, I saw a picture of myself. I was 220 pounds. I was miserable. I was married at the time, not to Val. I was probably a bad husband, not a great father. I think I'm a good husband now, but you know, I quickly realized that, man, I'm not happy. Mid-30s, smoking, drinking, eating what I want.
I forgot you were a smoker.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, you know, I forgot about that too.
I absolutely was. So I took it one step at a time. In the past, I've gone all in. Diet, cut out sodas, cut out drinking, cut out smoking, start exercising, and I quickly realized that if you take it all at once, for me, it didn't work. So I focused on my diet, and I lost 65 pounds in a year and got down skinny fat. No muscle tone, because when I was going to high school, which was forever ago, it's almost 25 years now, when you played sports, you didn't have to actually go into the weight room. It was there, but you didn't have to do it. So I never lifted weights a day in my life, and I was really curious about it, and I've tried going to local gyms, global gyms, YMCAs, and it didn't work out for me because, first off, I wasn't disciplined enough to stick to a routine. Secondly, I didn't have the knowledge to actually do the workouts and put together a program that was right for me. So I would always start, and then I would fail. So CrossFit come along, I was like, this is cool. There's one in Sykeston, so I reached out to Michael, got me set up, came in. Very first day, I was like, this is my people. This is who I need to be around. They love to suffer as much as me. You have to be a little bit sick. And when I say that, obviously everything's scalable, so not to scare anyone off that may be listening to this, thinking about doing CrossFit, because Lord knows I scaled every fucking thing when I first walked into that gym. So it's definitely scalable, but you suffer with a group of people that are also trying to get better, which is what immediately caught my attention. And I was like, this is what I've got to do. So I immediately started that. And I've done that now for 5.5 years. So August 2015, let's fast forward to December 2020. I was burnt out. It was time for a change. I was going through the motions. I really enjoyed the strength part of the CrossFit workout, but the Metcons, the WODs, did not care. Wasn't competing with anyone, wasn't competing with myself, was lucky to get there twice a week. So I knew it was time to change, because if not, I was going to fall back into old habits. And Michael and Courtney in St. Louis visiting, and I said, Michael, I need some help. I need a challenge. I need something different. Here's why. And I explained to him what was going on with CrossFit. Here's where I am mentally. And he said, well, you know, we're actually having another powerlifting
Happen to be
meet.
doing another
Sounds
powerlifting
exactly
meet.
like
story.
you embodied exactly what Michael would. Well, you know.
That was actually exactly how it happened.
Yes, we were actually drinking mimosas in our apartment on a Sunday morning. And he said, well,
I don't remember much about that Sunday morning.
There were mimosas involved.
and so I was like, this is interesting. So I quickly looked it up and signed up, I think within a week of you telling me about it, because I knew if I didn't, I would talk myself out of it. Because, again, as soon as I thought about it, it took me back into the global gym mindset of this is going to be a very personal journey. It's something that I'm not doing with a group of people. It's something that I'm going to have to do. It's a competition with myself. But I needed the challenge. I needed a kick in the ass. So I signed up. I went all in. I stopped CrossFit. My CrossFit coach who owns the CrossFit gym I go to up there, Blues City. Shout out Blues City.
Whoop whoop.
Yeah, the owner, Steven, actually has done training for powerlifting. He has some other clients that have done powerlifting meets. So I just went to him one day. I said, hey, this is what I'm thinking about doing. Do you have anybody you'd recommend? He's like, well, funny you should ask. I actually do this. I said, perfect. Let's go. Let's do it. So once a week I meet with Steven. He does all my programming for me. I'm 100% into powerlifting. I have paused CrossFit at this time. I absolutely love it. I'll be honest with you. I don't know that I'm getting back into CrossFit anytime soon.
Left CrossFit in the dust at this point, huh?
Yeah.
So this reminds me of some years ago at the old gym when we used to talk smack about the big dogs versus the what was it? I don't remember. Maybe it was the Met heads. So the people that were into the cardio stuff versus the people that were only into the strength stuff. And so me and you were talking smack about how you, one day you got a PR and you're clean or something like that. And I was like, oh, Campbell's a big dog now. And so here we are. And all these years later, he's fully graduated. He's left that old life behind him. You're just all big dog these days.
It's funny you mention that because I remember those conversations because you'd have Will Yarborough.
Yeah. It was Will and Nash.
You'd have these guys that are just throwing up so much weight, and I'm over here deadlifting 135. And so when I deadlift 185, I was like, oh, it's getting closer. I'm getting there.
Big dog status, baby.
Yeah, I'm getting there. So I definitely remember that, and man, it's a lot of fun. And I will be 100% honest with you. There's so many days where I'm like, I don't want to do this because I know I'm going by myself into a corner of the gym, picking up heavy shit, putting it back down.
Yeah.
But
Lift and sit.
Lift and sit, yeah. So I've learned to love the process, and that's something that I didn't love before. So with all that being said, I'm excited to continue this. July will be here. I think we're 4 months out.
Man, yeah, it's creeping up on us.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's
120 days.
oh yeah.
So everybody who is interested, you need to sign up.
Well, we were talking with Natalie about it last week. They were talking about, I guess you guys were originally talking about doing that powerlifting meet in May, but then decided to just go ahead and wait until the July one. So we're going to have a lot of hometown folks at this one. It's going to be nice.
Oh,
I'm
hell
gonna do it
yeah.
with you, Jason.
Yeah, so I actually, like I said, I'm a huge fan of the podcast, and I listen to all of them. The only one I didn't listen to, and I'm sorry, Miss Bohannon, but CrossFitting pregnant is not something that I could just imagine there being talk of fluids and
No.
and all that. So
Actually, no, it wasn't like that at all.
okay. Well, I'll go back and check it out. But
Give it a
It's
chance.
always cool to like have that information and we really didn't. I think we probably spent a good half of the podcast just talking about random stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't anything.
Okay.
I can't really remember, but
If that was your
it's cool to
concern,
just
I
know
think you'll be
that.
fine because it was kind of just a good conversation about CrossFit and doing different things.
And my thing is good to know that because you're gonna have somebody eventually that you work with or a friend or a family member who's pregnant and like, oh well, I can't do that, and like you would kind of know like, oh well, you do this and this and you're fine.
And
Yeah.
we might even be jumping forward a little bit too, but I know you've recently gotten into some more coaching and you got your level 1 here recently, so that might be a good
You
one to know
did?
just for future clients you might have. So
I didn't know that.
yeah, so that kind of jumps into the industry I'm in now. I'm in the fitness industry with you guys, so thanks for having me.
Welcome to the party.
Thank you. And I have a question for you, so don't let me forget. We'll get back to that
Okay.
regarding powerlifting.
Okay.
We have notes. Perfect.
if you want to make one.
Hey Courtney, hand me that bottle of wine
Oh, Michael took it.
and a cup.
Wine break.
Wine break.
Yeah, if anybody wants to make notes, I'll give you a piece of paper so you don't forget.
Thanks.
Wine break. What are you drinking, Ryan? Do you want some beer?
What you got?
Yeah, hand Ryan a beer.
Coffee
We
stuff.
got
There's plenty.
We
of
have
Shiner
a lot of.
Weiss and Easy.
Yeah, give me a Watson Nest.
You like that one?
I said it right.
Why so nice? All right. Anyway.
So, I'm in the fitness industry, and education is extremely important. There's so many misnomers, so much false information. I know you guys know.
Oh my God, yeah, it's something we deal with on a daily basis.
Absolutely. So I decided to get my level 1. I have a love for CrossFit still to this day, even though I'm not doing it, but I want it to be further educated on CrossFit for not so much to coach. That's not something I'm chasing right now or even interested in. Somewhere down the road, I think it would be really exciting to do an apprenticeship somewhere, learn under someone who has a ton of knowledge and is really good with the coaching craft. But it's just something that I wanted to have. I'm always looking to further my education around fitness.
Yeah.
Whatever aspect that is, whether it's exercise, nutrition, supplementation, whatever that may look like. So,
Fitting this pizza in your mouth.
yes, yes.
How to do it wisely.
We do a lot of that, yeah. And man, it's crazy thinking back to my journey into fitness. When you talk about diet, nutrition specifically, you cut so much out of your life thinking you can't do this, but you can.
Oh yeah.
And I wish more people realize that you can enjoy life and still be fit. You can absolutely do that, but
Did you lose your train of thought?
I mean, that's just
So
a
you
pretty good
got your
stopping
level
point.
1.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
a pretty good stopping point.
Basically, basically just to
you can
have
enjoy your life and still be fit.
Absolutely.
So I think it's really awesome that people get their level 1 just to kind of further understand what they're doing. Like when you participate in CrossFit, it's really cool. Like if you have the funds to just go spend the funds and the time just to go do it, it's amazing. Like you should go do it. I will say, and this is kind of going back, I don't know if you guys listened to the podcast with Matt Frazier on Joe Rogan.
I have
There's
not.
been a lot
Not
of
yet.
there's been like flames thrown
Yes.
about it because everybody's like, oh, he's shitting on the CrossFit community. He's not. He's just basically telling a blanket truth.
I guess I hadn't even heard that stuff. I stay so far out of the meme game.
Yeah.
I haven't even heard it.
If you only have your level 1 and no other understanding of any type of, you're probably not that great of a coach, honestly. Like if you don't have other education, or at least do your own research, know how to do proper research, like you're probably not that great of a coach with just a level 1 because you do CrossFit. It's cool to like go and like have a better understanding of the thing that you're doing, but it's understandable. And so people kind of went up in flames by that because he was just like, oh yeah, it's a weekend course, and kind of left it at that. And so everybody's like, oh no,
No.
It is a weekend course.
It is a weekend course, exactly. Like
I mean,
I went to
event.
school for 4 years for this shit. Like you need more.
Absolutely, and I 100% agree with you. I wish it was more affordable.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be fantastic if it was more affordable to where more CrossFit members could go for the weekend.
Yeah.
Because I learned so much. Am I an expert? Fuck no. But do I know more than what I did going into it?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There's your one F-bomb.
Yeah,
Oh, is that number
the
2
second
you're
one.
out?
No, Paige is counting. I have left.
I already used my 2 S-bombs.
So I guess in a nutshell, catch me up real quick. What was Matt Fraser, and was it just like he was?
Oh, he never
saying,
like said
or what was the
anything
flames?
offensive. He never said anything offensive, but basically Joe was asking him about the games and yada yada, and was saying that he thought Dave Castro didn't like him because Dave had said some stuff like, "Oh, it's gonna be a tough one for Matt," and Dave always kind of like put out the vibe that he's trying to make it harder for Matt to win. And Matt's like, that's not cool, man. Like, you're targeting me. This is my livelihood. Like, this is what I do for a job. And so he said those things, but he didn't like go and attack Dave's personal character or anything like that.
So it was just the internet being the internet.
Yes,
finding
exactly.
something
That's
to get
exactly
mad
what
about? Okay.
Matt didn't say any. It was very interesting. It was super long. There were lulls in it. Like, if you're not interested in MMA, there's probably a good hour in there where you'd fall asleep. But there were just truths told. That's it.
Oh, okay.
So, question for you guys. With 2020 being the shit show it was, with gyms getting shut down, obviously having to reconfigure how you coach. I know you guys, you did some at-home coaching. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the CrossFit Games, the Open changed immensely. We're looking at a 3-week season this year for the Open. Has that changed how you approach CrossFit with new members
No.
or old members, existing members?
Well,
But and here's why I asked that, because obviously they have an at-home option now for doing the open this year. So is that something that you like, to have an at-home option, competing against people that are actually in the gym putting in the work, or do you not care? A lot of questions coming at you. Just curious on how the pandemic changed CrossFit for you guys.
Yeah.
I guess
You wanna go first?
to address the first question, like change, I can't really think of anything that I would say changed for us here in small town
SEMO.
Missouri. Yeah, small town Missouri. I don't think that really anything has changed for us right now. Now, of course, last year there were a lot of changes we had to navigate, but at this point, it does kind of seem like we're pretty close to being back to business as usual. And now to jump forward to your question about the open and how that has changed, I don't really see that affecting us at all because, obviously we're not a super competitive gym that's trying to send people to further levels of the CrossFit regionals or sanctionals or anything like that. So, since we don't have people that are trying to advance through the ranks of CrossFit, I don't see that really affecting us at all. I don't know. What do you think, Paige? Have you seen any change there?
No, not really. Like maybe with the at-home stuff, we've probably grown a greater appreciation for like dumbbell movements and just simplifying workouts to be, honestly, the more simple a lot of times the more effective a workout is.
Oh yeah.
I feel like we were kind of doing that beforehand, especially when dumbbells were introduced in the open a couple of years ago. So like, a lot of single arm, single leg stuff. I don't think that COVID had anything to do with it, the whole shutdown, but I feel like I'm growing a lot, like as a programmer, and making a lot of strides there just because I'm getting older, just because I'm getting more information. I don't think we've
experience.
Yeah, and more experience especially. I don't think that, honestly, like Michael said, it hasn't really affected us because, it affected us obviously because we had to completely close for what? It was only like a month or a month.
Yeah,
and a
It
half.
was
but
only a month that we were actually shut down.
Yeah.
But then those following months that we opened back up, we had a lot of things we had to navigate. Obviously for our own comfort level for sure, but then the general public's comfort.
We didn't have a lot of
level
new
after
people
that,
coming
so.
in. They were kind of nervous about it. And like you said, like, has at home been something that we've kind of focused on? No, it's not our niche. It's not something that we want to spend any energy on because there's other people that do that well out there. So we're not going to.
Yeah, I feel like that
We're
market
not
is
going to
flooded.
take from our people that like to come into the gym and take energy out of that and give it to other people that we're not going to see face to face. Like if we don't have the time to commit fully to one or the other, it's not worth it. So we just spent all of our energy on everybody that's actually coming into the gym.
Absolutely. So
That does make me think of one more thing, though, and maybe this is sort of the question that you're asking, but I do like that it's kind of changed the perception of CrossFit a little bit because it has definitely made it more approachable as far as, you can participate from home. That does kind of change the perception a little bit, so I like that.
yeah, I see that and maybe you guys are seeing this as well. It seems like it's becoming much more popular, and maybe with people having to do at-home workouts, they saw that, hey, I can still get a really good workout in with a dumbbell and a stool, or a barbell and a pull-up bar. So with that being said, with people concerned about their health last year, have you seen more people coming in saying, hey, I'm not in great shape, I need to do better, this scared me?
Yeah, I definitely have a lot of those conversations when I have consultations with people that are interested. That is a topic that comes up a lot.
Okay.
It's just, that. And that's what I was hoping was going to come from this whole 2020 fiasco, was that it was going to make people understand how important it was for them to stay proactive with their health and not wait until something's wrong. Because I've said it before, and I'll say it 1,000 more times, but COVID-19 is not going to be the last one. We're going to have, once we get all this taken care of, and then we're going to have COVID-23 or COVID-86 or some other things that aren't even on our radar yet, but you got to stay proactive with your health. And so I'm just hoping this does start to wake up the general public a lot more and let people know they got to stay on top of this.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah, and and I think that's where we see so much aggravation, especially for people like ourselves who take care of our health. you see the people that do not, that are falling ill. And obviously that's not everyone, and I'm not trying to go down that rabbit hole whatsoever, but if people would be more concerned about taking care of their health on the front end, we wouldn't have as many issues as we see today. So,
Right. And a lot of times, like, unfortunately, the people that we really need to come in here are the ones that are taking the stay at home entirely too literal.
Sure.
And not doing anything.
Yep.
So that's, I mean, you kind of run into some blocks there. I mean, Michael does all the consultations and pretty much sees the majority of people for the first time, the ones who are going to say, like, oh, you know, this is a scare for me. So I haven't really seen any of that. I've talked to a few people that have been like, I know, this has kind of scared me into, I need to do something, but not as many. I feel like maybe on both of our parts, we haven't seen as many as we would like to see be kind of
I would agree with
scared
that.
into it.
Okay. Well, that's sad.
Yeah. And, you know, maybe that's not a great way to approach your fitness journey, getting scared into it. So hopefully over the next couple years, they'll just kind of grow. Maybe this is the seed that's planted. And next year, they'll kind of start to realize a few more things. But I think, honestly, it all comes from what basically, I guess, what the CDC and the national health organizations say. Like, the recommendations that they give out really trickle down to the individual person, and a lot of what they say is it's a lot of just scare tactics more so than, you know, focus on your health. You need to be getting out. You need to be going for a walk outside. You need to go get some fresh air. You can take your mask off when there's nobody else around. Like, so things like that I feel like need to be relayed more so from the bigger people upstairs. And
You know, but I do think that, you know, maybe we just aren't seeing those people here. Like, they may be going to the Y, or they may be going to another Globo gym.
something with a little lower barrier to entry. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie, CrossFit does kind of have a higher barrier to entry than just about anything.
Well, and I also think that if people don't know about CrossFit, they don't know someone that does CrossFit, that they think that it's really intimidating. And so I'm hoping that, you know, with this do-at-home workouts and stuff that CrossFit puts out, and then really the last, like, couple of years, they've really been focusing on health instead of the competitive part, that will become more common knowledge. And then, you know, we are established. You know, we've been here, it'll be 7 years in April, so it's not like we're going away anytime soon. And I hope that, you know, our reputation for, you know, being concerned about people's health instead of just like being in here and, oh yeah, I'm going to be a badass and, you know, lift 1,000,000 pounds. That's like not what we're about here. So I hope that we will see more people who are like, oh yeah, you know, I do want to better my health and show up here. And even, I mean, I know we have a higher barrier to entry because, you know, we give a lot more service than the Globo gym. But, you know, I still think that, I hope that our reputation comes out like that, that, you know, we're not scary.
Yeah. I think anybody that discovers Boot Hill CrossFit specifically, and a lot of CrossFit gyms, but anybody that discovers us specifically and starts asking around, they get that vibe, which is cool. We've established that over the years very well. So that's good. What about in St. Louis? Like, I know you go to a gym, you're involved with a lot of other people that are involved in fitness, and what has the reaction to the shutdown been up there?
Yeah, the vibe up there has got to be at least a little different than what it is down here. What's it like?
Yeah, it's definitely different. It was, you know, and looking back on it now, probably wouldn't have been as concerned about what happened last year if I hadn't have been in a city. Being in a city versus small town USA was a major difference. Obviously, population is a big part of that. Is probably the major part of that.
Population density, just how many people there are in such a small location.
Absolutely, and the gyms up there, they got hit hard. We're still in most gyms, you're still wearing a mask to work out in, which is extremely concerning and not ideal, to say the least. So with some CrossFit gyms shut down up there due to being shut down for so long.
Yeah.
The gym I was in, Steven, he really struggled. He was one of the lucky ones that was able to keep a lot of his members on payroll, however you want to say that, to where he was able to do at-home programming. We actually visited the gym during the shutdown because the gym that we was at, we were doing at-home workouts, and we was like, let's try something new. So we went and visited the gym while everything was shut down. We signed up. We loved it. It was a much smaller community that we were used to. The gym we were at prior was big, a lot of transplants, which is what we are. We're transplants in St. Louis. However, it was hard to fit in with a group there. So the gym that we went to, Stephen was extremely welcoming, and he survived. He's brought on people from other gyms that have shut down. It's unfortunate for them, but fortunate for him that he was able to add people. So he's doing really well. He's striving, but it's slowly getting better there with the fitness community.
That's awesome. Well, I know you've actually, I don't know, how long has it been since you got that new job, Jason? Not to jump ahead too quickly, but how long have you been with this new place? I'm not going to mention it yet.
July. July 2020. So what is that, like 9 months now?
9 months. Okay, you've actually been working for your dream gig. I know you've been aiming for this one for a while. So let us in on the information. You got your job at
First Form.
First Form.
Yes.
You're officially Jason Campbell, First Form at this point.
That's right. So if you follow me on Instagram, I am sorry. If you follow me, hey, that's and it's okay. I get it. I wasn't the social media guy that I am now. But I've quickly realized the reason behind it, because you can reach out to people that normally may not interact with you if you show that, hey, you're just a regular ass person like they are. If you struggle just like they do, if you have cheat meals like they do, if there's days you don't want to go to the gym but you do it, they see that and they're like, this guy, I get it. I relate to this guy. So they may reach out to you, and it's an olive branch to say, hey, I'm here to help. Whether it's just like, you can do this, or hey, yeah, this is how I did this workout, or hey, this is what I ate instead of this. So it's 2020. Definitely there was a ton of changes. We moved to St. Louis in 2019. A couple months later, everything shuts down. My previous
kind of kills your whole city vibe experience.
Yeah, that's just your luck.
Absolutely. So it's the Campbell curse.
Yeah, we were ready to come up and swim in your pool, and then the whole damn thing was shut down.
Yeah,
Never even
so
got to enjoy it.
Couldn't even get in the pool. Just an absolute nightmare. Couldn't go to the restaurants. I'm a big foodie, if you don't know. So going to explore the restaurants and everything, but it also affected the industry I was in prior, which was wireless communication. Mm-hmm. And my job was eliminated. I lost my job through the pandemic, and that sucked. 2020 was rough, and it's like I had all these really good habits, new adventure, and then boom, right in the face.
Kind of got the rug yanked out from under you.
Yeah, you just get punched right in the mouth, and it's like, okay, what do you do? And we were extremely fortunate that Val, although in the healthcare industry, which was really scary, it's scary regardless, but really scary at that time with the unknowns, the lack of protection that they had, and not knowing, hey, is she going to get affected? Is she going to bring it home? Yeah. Am I going to get sick and die? Who knows? No one knows.
Yeah.
So we were very fortunate that she was able to continue working, and what she did and what she saw every day is, we talked about it, and at the beginning, it was really scary. There was a lot of sick people in St. Louis, and she saw a lot of those people, and she brought a lot of that home with her. So forever grateful for what she does, what she did then, what all of our health care workers have done, and not just the people in the clinics, the EMTs, everyone that involved with that process. They saw a lot of bad stuff. So, what she did, and to keep us online, essentially, to keep us from having to retreat from where we were, I'll never be able to repay her for that. But
I wish we had been able to get her on the podcast today too. It sucks that she's not feeling good.
Yeah, maybe we can do a part 2 sometime.
Yeah.
Miss you, Val.
Well,
we'll come to St. Louis next time.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll do a St. Louis one. But
I guess, Paige, you can stay in our room.
Well, I guess from the outsider's perspective, I don't really know a whole lot about First Form other than that it's a supplement company. So now that you're involved with First Form, what more is it about? I know that you've kind of told me a little bit. That sounds like there's a whole lot more to this under the
Wait, back
surface.
I kind of want to hear how you started there first.
Okay.
Yeah, just to finish that point real quick, and we can talk about how I found First Form, but her getting us through that. Now let's back up. We'll pause there. 2020 spring, I ate a ton of frozen pizza.
Okay.
I tried every craft beer in St. Louis, so
right.
I'm not going to say it was a bad time. It was a pretty enjoyable time because
So you made the most out of
Absolutely.
quarantine.
We're still working out at home occasionally.
Yeah, I remember seeing you and Valerie jump on a couple of those
Yeah.
Zoom workouts that
Yeah.
we did that month we were shut down.
Were those the only ones you did?
Maybe.
Paige
How long-
calling you
how
out.
long were you
This is why we didn't continue doing the Zoom thing.
Yeah, that
People
burned out.
just
It was like-
stopped coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we had a couple of kettlebells that's all we could get in St. Louis was 2 kettlebells.
You're lucky to find that.
Yeah, extremely lucky to find those, but it just got so boring. But if we pause there and we back up to when I was still here in Sykeston, 75 Hard. That was a program that I found, and First Form is a company that I have followed for a while. Andy Frisella, the creator, one of the creators of First Form, was somebody that I had followed on social media, podcasts. He had created this program, 75 Hard. And I remember bringing that program to you, Michael, Brian Montgomery, and Will Yarborough. And I said, hey, guys, let's do this. I need somebody to do this with me. And you guys, thankfully, you jumped in because it is an extremely hard program. And I think you guys have talked about it before. It's obviously it's not for everyone, but it's something that we jumped into. And to be honest, I think it helped a ton as far as the mentality needed to get through the rough spot that I was in by losing my job.
Yeah.
Sitting at home every day, not exercising. It helped me stay as level as possible without picking up a ton of bad habits. Did I gain weight? Absolutely, because frozen pizza is good. It's so good.
Craft beer is delicious.
It is, yes. So go back to me sitting at home, no job. I'm in St. Louis. I'm like, well, shit, First Form is here. Why don't I try to do this? I had a few different ideas of what I wanted to do, and I thought, well, let me see if I can even get a job here. It just seemed so unattainable at that point. So I tried, and they called me. I was in Dallas, Texas in July, and I received an email, said, hey, come in and interview with us. I said, okay, I'm coming. So got back the next week, interviewed a couple times. After the first interview, I told Val, I was like, there's no way. There's zero chance I'm working here. It was super cool to go check out the new headquarters. They had just moved into a brand new building at that point. I was like, just happy to get to go and do an interview. Got an email, second interview. I was like, okay, there's
a chance.
There's a small chance.
Saying there's a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Val's like, you've got the job. I'm like, no, I don't. Shut up. Don't say that. Like, as soon as you say that, you jinx me. So go back for the second interview, got the job, long story short. And I've been there since July, and it's been a fantastic journey. It's been extremely hard. What we do there is really hard to describe, but to break it down as simple as possible is help people get results. That's what we're about. That's our mission statement is much longer than that, but if you really look at what we do, it's help people. And we want to help as many people possible, and that doesn't always mean selling you a jug of protein. That may mean, hey, this is what we recommend to get your diet in order first. Let's start there. Once we start there, let's then look at your exercise. Are you walking? Are you getting up every day? Are you moving? And maybe even before that, it's mentally, where are you? Are you okay? You know, because not everyone is okay. We know that. So it's extremely difficult to take someone and just say, hey, take these supplements. There's no quick fix. We know that. You guys know that. You preach it every day. You talk to your people every day that come to the gym. There's no skinny wrap that's going to work. There's no 21-day quick fix. That's all bullshit. And I hate that there's so much of that out there, because that is what you hear all the time.
Yeah.
It seems like the quiet voice is the right thing. And I guess that's probably with anything. You know, the what you should do doesn't get the microphone that what you shouldn't do does. It's a lot of quick fixes.
The simple, effective stuff isn't nearly as sexy as the promising the quick fixes and all that.
Yeah, because it's hard.
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah,
hard.
That's what it boils down to.
Life is hard. Losing weight is hard. Gaining muscle is extremely hard. All of that is really hard. So people are always looking for the quickest way to get better. And with fitness and your health, there is no quick way. Just simply isn't. So going to work there opened my eyes to that. And that's what has made me want to crave more education behind fitness, because I'm in the industry now. And the social media, going back to the social media and what I do on social media now, I've realized that, again, that people, they see us and they're like, okay, these are regular people. We're not all jacked juice heads at First Form working out 8 hours a day.
Those sleeves say that that's a lie.
I was actually going to ask.
Screaming for mercy.
I was going to ask if Jason Campbell has looked in a mirror recently, because he's kind of looking like a jacked juice head.
Da booty dough.
But that's the thing. Everybody goes through phases in life where, like, you're probably going to be really, really fit for a little bit, and then you might feel a little fluffy, a little bigger than you used to be, or a little squishier than you used to be, and then you can go back to being fit. Like, just that happens for everybody.
Absolutely, yeah. It does, and that's okay. That's okay, yeah, because
You just
we've
can't
all
let
been
it
there.
get out of hand.
Yeah, for sure.
Because frozen pizza is delicious. Shout out to Sam's Choice Stuffed Crust Pizza.
Yeah, buddy.
What was the kind that you liked? The Chicago something or other?
Oh, it's the Home Run Inn pizza. If you have not had it,
Home run in.
Home
They
Run
have it
Inn.
at Walmart. I bought one.
It's so good.
They are really tasty. Like the
Sounds
crust
nice.
is
So good.
deliciously thin and
So
like
good.
buttery. It's like a crust. It's flaky.
So
Oh
good.
my god, it's so good.
You guys
So
keep
good.
talking about that because I have to go pee, but I want to hear when I get back about what you did when you started there, and then where it went from there.
Perfect.
I feel like
Okay,
Paige
so
is
while-
squirming.
While Paige is taking a bathroom break, tell us about the big city life. What's been the biggest transition coming from Sykeston to big city, and I don't know what's been the most enjoyable first?
The most enjoyable is by far the food. Again, I'm a fat kid at heart.
Hell
Okay.
yeah.
I love food. I love everything about it.
Is
I
it just
love-
having all the different options
Yeah,
and like
absolutely. And the cool thing about
Peruvian food.
yes, that Peruvian. So the cool thing about St. Louis, and maybe this is every city. If you can't tell by my accent, I'm not from a city. I'm from small town America.
Yeah, you're from Sykeston originally, right? Or
Yeah.
is it
EP.
Is it East
So I
Prairie?
grew up in between Sykeston and East Prairie on a gravel road in the middle of nowhere.
Okay,
So
country boy.
Yes, country boy.
Now living in the big city of St. Louis.
Living in the big city. So this may be every city, but St. Louis has so many different small neighborhoods around the city.
Right.
Each one has its own style of food and type of food. There's so many restaurants that as soon as you explore a handful, there's that many that has opened since you started. So with us moving there and everything shutting down, we lost a ton of time. So I'm making up time right now. I'm trying to hit as many restaurants as possible to where we could try everything. You have an Italian section, you have an Irish section, you have a soul food section, anything you could imagine, ethnic, whatever. It's all there, and I absolutely love going to the restaurants. So that is really cool. The energy in the city, because it's funny, the people that I work with, where our headquarters is located, is about 20 miles outside the city. So it's, if you're familiar with St. Louis, it's right outside the 270 loop. And they all think I'm crazy for living in the city. They're like, you got to get out of the city. You got to get out of there. I'm like, guys, it's okay. The city's okay. And it's I forgot what I was going to say.
I think you were just talking about the food and
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
different options. But
Yeah, they just think it's that. Well, I think what it is because they hear my voice and they're like, man, you got to get out of the city. You don't belong there. Bro, what are you doing?
Like
Get
I
out.
do CrossFit and I
Doing.
powerlift. I'm fine.
Well, so Paige just got back from the bathroom, but what was the question you wanted to
No, wait,
ask
we
him?
gotta ask him what the worst part of living in the city is. Please say parking, because I think it's the worst.
Yeah, if parking can be bad, especially if you're just visiting, as you guys do. So the parking is tough. Now, we've been fortunate. Both places we have lived we have parking garages, and it's very secure and safe and indoors. So it's fine for us, but it sucks for you guys. Sorry.
Sorry.
I guess that's the price we pay to have a bedroom.
That's true. Yeah. You live rent free. So let's take it easy over there.
Okay, sorry. Now you can have Paige's
Okay.
question.
When you first started at First Form, from what I understand, pretty much everybody has to start in the warehouse.
Yeah, so First Form is very unique to where there's 2 entry points into First Form. Most people don't know that Supplement Superstores, which is a retail brick and mortar supplement store, very similar to a GNC, Vitamin Shop, something like that, that was before First Form. So before First Form was ever created, Andy and his partner Chris Klein started Supplement Superstores in Springfield, Missouri.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
so they were selling everybody else's stuff. And they did that for 10 years and struggled for a long time to get that up and running. They eventually ended up back in St. Louis. They had stores in Springfield and St. Louis. And
There was one in Cape, wasn't there?
I don't know.
I don't think we ever had one in Cape.
Oh, what's that place in Cape?
Stacked.
That's stacked.
Just kidding.
No, they are.
They sell First Form.
Yeah, they sell First Form, absolutely. So, Love Stack, that's actually where I picked up my stuff if I didn't order online. But Andy quickly was like, hey, we could make better protein than what we're selling. We can do a better product than what is on our shelf. So that's where First Form was born about 12 years ago. So when you hire in at First Form, 99% of employees come in at entry level. So 2 entry level points, warehouse or the retail stores. So from there, the best of the best move up, which is a very interesting and competitive atmosphere, to say the least. And what I always tell people with the competitive side of it, we're not competing against each other, we're competing together. So we're working to get to the next step all at the same time. So obviously everybody's trying to get that next promotion, but we're all rowing the boat in the same direction. You have to have a very unique mindset to succeed there. If you don't have that, and when I say mindset, it's simply you have to have the desire to help other people. If you don't have the right intent to help other people, you're not going to make it. You're going to fire yourself.
Yeah, weed it out.
Yep, quickly.
So what's the next step after warehouse?
That really depends. There's customer service. There's the My Transformation team, which advises people on how to lose weight, how to exercise. There's a Legionnaire team, which is our sales team. There's media. So there's management within warehouse. It really depends on where your passion lies.
Or what you're good at.
Yeah, or what you're good at, what your skill set is. So the demographics there, it's a very young demographic. I'm one of the oldest guys there, which
Are
is
you old granddaddy
The only
Jason?
thing old about you is your hair color, Jason.
yeah. No,
Old granddaddy Jason.
so I hear that all the time. Silver Fox, I hear that a lot at work.
I didn't say that.
I'm not well, and it's guys telling me that, so I don't know how to take it, but I take it as a compliment. But
Do you wear your scarves when you go to work?
so funny story. I have not worn my scarf yet, but I have worn a vest. And
You got to start somewhere.
yeah, so
Baby step your way in.
I wore the vest, and the guy, one of my bosses, just absolutely roasted me all day long. So I wore it again the second day because I'm like, you know what? I don't give a shit. I'm coming back in my vest, and he continues to roast me. And every now and then he'll just shoot me a message on Instagram, be like, "Hey, you have your vest on?" So, but anyway, it really depends on where your passion is. For me, with my past experience, I've had a lot of experience with developing people, recruiting people, the training side of things. So I quickly realized that First Form, it's not been around that long, 10 plus years. So it's a young company, and 2020 they saw explosive growth, and really due to the pandemic, a lot of people became concerned with their health and well-being, and a lot of the products that we sell, the immune health products, they were interested in that. So it kind of blew up, and when I joined last summer, I was in the middle of that growth, and I saw that there wasn't really a true there wasn't really a training department, a new hire team, nothing like that to take people in and show them the right way to do things. So with my experience, I put together a plan. Within 3 weeks, I had created a training plan, presented it, and they said, yeah, go do it.
Cool.
Which is what's really cool about the place, that and this is anywhere in life. So quick life lesson. If while we're here, quick lesson for you.
Message
From Daddy Jason.
So if you can solve problems, you are extremely valuable. People can easily identify problems, but very few people can come up with solutions to those problems. Mm-hmm. So if you can not only see the problem, come up with a solution, put a plan together, and execute that plan, you are invaluable. You will make yourself someone that can make as much money as they want at a certain point. So that's what I did. I saw that, and I quickly put a plan together and went into that. And then from there, we needed more and more people, and we didn't have a recruiting team. So, hey, let's put together a recruiting team. So that's currently what I'm doing. I recruit employees into First Form. I also play a big role in the career development because, like I said, there's a ton of young guys that work there. And when I say young, we're talking 18, 19, 20. We even have some high school internship programs. So a ton of young guys that maybe it's their first job or maybe it's their first real job. They really don't know what they want to do or how to do it. So we have a roadmap to show them how you get from point A to point B, and I work with them every day, have meetings with them, sit down with them, and help guide them because old Jason here knows a few things about life. I've been around 20 years longer than they have.
Been around the block.
Yeah, of course. I've done all the wrong things. So let me tell you real quick, this is not what you want to do. You want to do this instead.
So you are kind of like a recruiter.
Yep.
And trainer.
Yep. So as far as training, I no longer do that. I have a team that does the new hire training. So I go create recruiting events, find people, headhunt on LinkedIn, wherever it may be, because we're extremely selective with who we bring into First Form because the culture is, again, unlike any other place you would walk into. The set of core values that we live by, not everyone can do that. And that's okay. It's not for everyone. Just like the 75 Hard program, it's not for everyone. So I do that, bring people in, interview them, see if they would be a good fit for us. If we hire them, I then turn them over to the new hire training team, which I oversee. And so primarily I interview, recruit people, and then I develop the ones that we have hired.
Where do most of your recruitments come from? Like what kind of settings, or is it just people that you know someone that knows somebody, or?
No, we do have referrals from people that work there. Obviously, they send friends, family, whoever. But it's crazy. We have people from CEOs to ex-pro athletes to high school kids that work there. So they're from all walks of life, which, again, is extremely unique. And it's really hard to describe the atmosphere there if you don't work there. So I apologize for not having the words for that. But
Get it together, Jason.
I'm trying. It's all the beers.
There's
all the beers. But there's it from all walks of life. It's college graduates. It's people that have been in the workforce. I have 2 teachers that are just tired of education who follow First Form and they see that there are unique opportunities, career opportunities, to where you can come in and still help people, change lives, but not in a school setting.
Do you reach out to those people, or have they reached out to you, or is it like at a career fair, or like how do you come across these people for the most part?
It seems like the social media, what would that be? Just the vibe that you guys have created kind of has created its own machine at this point, right?
Yeah,
like it attracts the people that would be into that.
Absolutely, and First Form, when you look at it, I think, Michael, you said a supplement company, and of course that's how it started, as a supplement company. It's more or less a lifestyle brand, and it's also a social media company. That's what it is. If you're not good at social media, you're not going to be good at First Form, and it's something I had to work on. But to answer your question, Paige, it's part of that. Social media, people will post on our Instagram stories on, hey, if you want a job here, this is how you apply. Through LinkedIn, I will just simply post ads. We're lucky to where we can be selective. I have talked to people from Africa, Korea, Canada, Mexico, that all want to move to St. Louis to work a $12 an hour job in a warehouse, which absolutely blows my mind, but it is the culture that has been created, and they see that the good that we do. So you can't find that anywhere. You can find that in certain areas, but I think the fitness industry specifically, it's really tough to find places that are fitness oriented that actually want to help people.
Yeah. I don't want to give out any like cheat codes to anybody. Not that there's millions of people listening to this podcast or anything, but I don't want
don't
to
jinx us.
I know.
What if this one goes viral?
That's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to like reverse psychology the world here. All right, so I don't want to give out any of your secrets or anything, but like what are the types of questions or like what kind of conversations do you have with people to determine if they're a good fit for the company?
The main thing that I'm looking for is, can I determine if this is a good person? You have to be a good person. Genuine good person. Now, do we get tricked? Yeah, absolutely. That's going to happen, but 9 times out of 10, we can tell if this person is in it for the right reason. Are they a fanboy and fangirl? I've quickly identified those people because I'm in a very unique position because Andy Frisella, he's a very polarizing figure. Millions of people watch what he does. Hundreds of thousands of people pay a lot of money to go watch him speak. So I am kind of a gatekeeper to keep those people out, the fanboys and fangirls that are just there to get close to Andy. So it can be a stressful job at times, but when it comes down to it, I need to know, are you a good person? Are you here because you want to help people? That's it.
Yeah.
All right, wine break.
Listening to it.
Did you hear that?
Actually, I could hear
That's
that
awesome.
pretty well.
Is that an ASMR?
Yeah, we had some ASMR with the wine pouring just then.
Paige, are you still peeling?
I'm still peeling. Do you guys want to do it
Yeah,
right
let's
now?
do it. Come over here. Okay.
Stop.
Jason's gonna
That's
leave.
disgusting. Get out of here with it.
Jason's gonna leave. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
wait,
I'm sorry.
Jason. I know that you're really freaked out about germs, but like I love Dr. Pimple Popper, and I know Ryan does too. He's over here looking at, making eyes. Okay.
Do you want to peel my skin, babe?
do you ever? Is there anything like that you watch that you're just like, oh, that's so gross, but I can't look away?
No. That's quick. The quickest no I can give you. Absolutely not. I know Val.
I think you're lying.
No, and I will tell you, and if Val was here, she would tell you, because she will come home and try to tell me stories. I'm like, no, shut up. I don't want to hear it. So she knows at this point, like even if she's around her other medical friends, because if you're ever around a group of people that work in the medical industry, that's all they want to talk about is the
Like-
grossest, craziest stuff that's ever happened
Like
to them.
light bulbs in a butt.
Yeah, exactly.
Light
Light bulbs
in,
in a
in
butt.
the butt.
It really blows my mind that
Shattered glass.
anybody who has worked in the ER has stories about things that that people have put in their butts, and I don't understand how.
And
this
that's
is
why
so
you and Valerie
common.
are the oddest combination. Because, like, if you're listening to this, just because I'm going to put First Form in the description, so you're going to, like, find it just by searching First Form. If you're listening to this because of that, Jason is a princess. Like, the princessiest of the princesses of guys. And his wife is was she ER nurse practitioner? Well, she's worked in the ER, and now she's a nurse practitioner. She's seen everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Okay, I'm going to interject here because on Facebook the other day, Calvin's wife, they just had a baby. She had posted about this this device that Heather Bohannon, she just had a baby, told her about for gas relief for babies. And the product is called the Windy, and it is a legit ass whistle. Like, you stick this device in the baby's butt, and when it whistles, you know that the baby has passed gas. And I about fell over when I saw it.
If only all of our farts could just be whistles.
Whistles, yeah.
Can I
ass
get one of
whistles.
those?
Fragrant whistles.
This is the how a podcast is going to go after the beer fest. It will
yeah.
take these kinds of wild
Oh
turns.
my gosh.
Well, it was seriously made me laugh. So Heather, thank you for suggesting that item to Katie.
And since this showed up on Facebook, we've been talking about how we need to get some of these for the house and then make this a party trick. Like, try this.
I kind of
like-
want to try it. Just 'cause it whistles. Like, I'll wear it
See,
at night
this is
so that every
obviously
time
where
I
it's gonna
fart
go.
in my sleep, Ryan can be like, "Damn it, Paige!"
Yes.
This is
He
obviously
has
where this
nothing to
had
say. The Windy.
Oh my gosh.
So if anybody out here listening
gotta
to
look
the
this up.
pregnancy,
Can we get a sponsorship?
Yeah, podcast. Get your baby a Windy. Apparently, it works really well. They were swearing by it.
Okay,
Ass whistle.
All right.
back
Well,
on track.
I don't know. We've passed up the hour mark. Where do we want to go
I still
from here?
have. I still have questions.
You got a good question?
Oh,
All right,
sorry,
let's go.
Paige.
Let's go. Let's keep going.
So you were working on like the My Transformation team for a little bit, weren't you? Like, did you do any coaching and stuff with that? How'd that go?
So I wasn't technically on the My Transformation team. However, I am an advisor in the app. So we have an app
Oh,
to
okay.
where you can count your macros. We can set all that for you. All the formulations are in there to say what you want to do. Do you want to gain lean muscle? Do you want to lose weight? How active are you?
That drives me nuts when people say lean muscle. Like, muscle is lean, damn it.
Uh-oh.
Okay, anyway, go ahead. Go on.
No, and so through my education with First Form, I got the opportunity to be an advisor in the app, but not an advertised advisor. So friends and family, I do that. It's not something that I'm super passionate about. It's something I enjoy doing. I track my own food, and I can answer those questions, but we have dedicated experts that can definitely do that for you. But it's a very cool part of the business. I am extremely intrigued by it, and the app is extremely easy to use.
I can second that.
Yeah, so
I did it.
Courtney, I think even Michael jumped in and tried it out for a while, and it's something that is it's very similar to what's the other.
My Fitness Pal?
Yes, yeah, that
It
one.
is similar to MyFitnessPal, but I think it was a little bit easier to use.
Okay. Yeah, and I think my favorite part about it is that you have access to a person. So if you have a question about something, you can message them right there on the app, and they get a notification. And the advisors, they have hours to where they guarantee you they will get back to you. And 99% of the time, they're sending you back video messages to answer your questions. So they are very knowledgeable, and they are extremely accessible to people who do the premium version of the app, and it's extremely affordable for anyone that wants to make a life change. $4 a month is a pretty affordable rate to get somebody that knows the ins and outs of nutrition and exercise. And you also can pick the other cool part about this is for those that maybe go to a global gym or maybe have a home gym and don't know how to program, because Paige, Michael, you guys know how hard it is to program and to keep it fresh. We have people that you can pick from a CrossFit style workout. You can pick a traditional strength training program. You can pick an EMOM program. So you can pick all these, and you can select it for at home or if you're in a gym. So there's options for every single type of workout that you want to do, from home to in the gym, to where if you don't know how to do that, and if you're not at your local CrossFit affiliate, which I recommend, Boot Hill specifically,
Yeah, shout out.
it can show you how to do that. So a lot of cool features there.
That's cool. What's the screening process for the people that are involved in getting back to those clients, whether it be programming or nutrition? Like the people that are hired to be their, I guess they're consultants, they're advisors. What's their screening process? Like, what kind of education do they have to have before they are able to be that person that has the consultation or that has the advice for those people?
Yeah, for sure. Great question. So there's some that are actual dietitians. We have, and the bare minimum is you have to have NASM, CPT, NASM nutrition certification in order to be one of the advisors.
Cool.
Yep.
Cool. NASM's one of my favorites among the many.
Yeah,
in that realm.
there's many out there, and I don't know the ins and outs and the reasons behind each one, why one's better than the other, but NASM, I do feel like is kind of the superior of all of them, and that's also another cool thing about our retail locations. You have to be NASM certified just to work in the retail store. So if you walked into a GNC or maybe any other mom and pop nutrition store, you may get a 67-year-old grandma who's never lifted a weight in her life.
That's one of my biggest like pet peeves about stores like that, GNC
Yeah.
or just, you know, any other store like that. People go in saying, "Oh, I've got this health condition. I don't really know what to do about it. I need to probably take some supplement to help it out." And this person has no clue what they're talking about.
Absolutely.
And starts giving out advice. That's really cool. I have a huge appreciation for that.
Yeah, and again, we at First Form, we realize supplementation isn't the end-all be-all. It is a way to help you in your goals. Before you can ever even think about adding that supplementation, and I've heard you even say this yourself, Paige, you got to get the small shit done. You got to make sure your diet's on point. If you're not moving, if you're not walking, you got to start doing that first. So if you go into our retail locations, if you call into our customer service, they're going to ask you, what are you doing currently? So let's get that in place first. Once you start dieting, once you start exercising, come back to us. We'll set you up with the supplementation that maybe you're not getting through your macros.
That's super cool. Love it.
Paige is cheesy.
Well, I just like, I'm not trying to call you out, Michael, or anything, but Michael's kind of been like, First Form seems kind of like something that is like, yeah, I don't know.
Where
It's
is
like
this
they're just
going?
trying to push. They're just trying to push supplements or something. In the past, not in the past, he's kind of had that mindset. So I'm just like, does this make you feel more comfortable about the whole, like, I don't know, a supplement company basically?
Well, that was
Their
actually
whole approach.
one of the real reasons why I wanted to ask you then, like, more about it was because the only thing I have seen is the supplement side of it. So yeah,
It's really cool to have this conversation and like
Yeah.
get to the like understand the company as a whole. Like this is really cool for anybody that's interested in beginning a fitness journey or even buying supplements from First Form or using the app or anything like that. Like you've given some really awesome information.
Yeah, and I think if there's one takeaway from this is do your research.
Yeah.
Go to people that are reputable. Paige and Michael are great examples of that. I know, Paige, that your nutrition advice, what you've done in your career, it's on point. If you're in Southeast Missouri, and if you are listening to this, you probably are, Paige is a resource that I would highly recommend reaching out to. Michael is a resource I would highly recommend reaching out to, because if you just scroll through Instagram, scroll through Facebook, you're going to see those ads of the quick fixes. And please keep scrolling.
Yeah.
Go talk to people. And you're still going to hear a lot of bullshit, but find the right person. And here's how you know you found the right person. What they tell you is going to be really freaking hard. I didn't say that for Michael. You're welcome. It's going to be hard.
Yeah. No, it's going to be very simple. And you're going to be like, that's it?
Right.
But I have to do it for 3 months?
Yeah, exactly. That's the hard part. It's not 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It's months. It's a lifestyle. It's not 6 months. It's a lifestyle.
Yep.
And like Paige said, we've all been to that point to where we just kind of fell off the wagon. It's as easy to get back on as it was to fall off. For sure.
Yeah. You should definitely be able to enjoy life. Like you said earlier, like you have to find that balance. Sure, you can do like 75 hard to kind of get yourself back on track, to get back where you want to be, but then you need to learn how to maintain the progress you've made by actually living life. Having a few beers, having a glass of wine, having some pizza every now and then, but still exercising regularly, eating healthy the other 6 days of the week. Yada yada. There's so much, like, you should be able to enjoy life and not beat yourself up about having the pizza or the beer or the wine.
Absolutely. I know y'all did a big episode on macros, counting macros, what that means, and not to jump back into that, but that's what works for me. And everybody is going to have something different that works for them. Macros works for me. I've done, when I lost my 65 pounds, I didn't lose it through counting macros. I did it because carbs were the devil.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't eat a carb. And now looking back on that,
Carbs are life.
Yeah, it is. You know,
Maybe if you had counted your macros and been doing resistance training at the same time, like you could have gotten to the point you wanted to be at much quicker. Not necessarily immediately, but maybe within a year you would be very happy with your physique and your body and your feeling, your lifestyle in general, rather than just being skinny fat, like you said.
Absolutely, yeah.
I don't know. I think it's part of the process, though.
You have to make those mistakes.
Everybody's
yeah.
got to start somewhere, and I mean, it's easy. It's easy for us at this point to look back at different things that we've done at different points of our lives, but honestly, it's part of the process. I mean, we'll be somewhere 10 years down the road, and we'll look back on something we're doing now, and we'll say, well, I do it differently now. I don't know. It's all part of the process. I know that sounds like a real cop-out answer, but I don't think you necessarily did anything wrong back then when you first got started, Jason. That was your first step, you know. That got you where you are now, you know.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that was, Dr. Atkins with the carbs. That's all I knew because I grew up in a household where I had a mom and a grandmother that were always overweight, trying the latest diet fads, always trying something.
The Hollywood
Weight
grapefruit.
Watchers. Yes, I mean I remember the sweating to the oldies with Richard Simmons. Seeing my
hell
mom.
yeah!
So I've seen every imaginable diet, and even though I saw that and saw the struggle, I still went right down the road of eat whatever I want.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out. And then when I hit 30, okay, the shit stopped. It all stayed on me.
That's the big thing is like you've got to make those mistakes and have those hiccups. But I mean, we all know we all know multiple people who are set in that endless cycle of like fad diet, blow up, fad diet, blow up, fad diet, blow up. Like it just never ends. It's an endless cycle for some people. Like, yeah, you don't need to, but everybody probably goes through that process at some point. But when do you find the real solution? Like
Eventually.
everybody finds it in a different place at a different time. They hear it from a different person. Like it's just different for everybody. But I think it all comes down to like recognizing what's in the food you eat and what kind of exercise that you enjoy and can do long term. Like you need to understand what's going into your body and understand what you enjoy exerting your body, how you enjoy exerting your body. Like that's the most simple way to put it for long term fix.
Yeah, because you can honestly give somebody the perfect prescription, but if it's not something that they will actually stick with, it's worthless to them.
Exactly.
So, and that's why I say, I'm not so convinced that you did anything wrong when you got started, because it's what got you started. It's what got the journey started for you. So.
And luckily, you just didn't do it over and over and over.
True, yeah, and I've realized you have to fall in love with the process. Do I love making healthy choices? Absolutely not. Do I love going to the gym every single day? Absolutely not. But I love the result. I have fallen in love with what comes from that. And if you can get to that, that's when you're on to something.
Yeah.
That's because my goal is to be the 80-year-old guy in the CrossFit gym, and all the young guys are coming in and like, man, look at this old guy. I want to be this old guy someday.
Look at that silver fox over there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I want to get to that point. This is 100% a lifestyle for me. Do I drink beer? Absolutely. Do I eat frozen pizza? I ate some the other night. But I still continue to...
But you ate your veggies, too.
Yeah, exactly. I eat my veggies a little bit, one piece of broccoli at a time. And...
Stalk by stalk.
Yeah, it's all in moderation. And as long as I continue to show up, as long as you continue to show up, it's going to get better. I'm not going to say it's going to get easier. You're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days. But you have to fall in love with the end result, because that's what this is all about.
Truth.
I want to say one thing.
Standing ovation?
Yeah. I feel like I feel like the end result is something that never really shows up. Like I feel like it's just a journey. Like you're just on a journey. There's not really. I feel like there's not really a point.
The end would be when you die, right?
Yeah, I feel like it's always going to be a journey. You're just on this journey. It's not even an end point.
I think the end is when you recognize that there is no end. There's phases. There's I know what is a healthy lifestyle. Sure. Yeah, there's checkpoints for sure. But it's like I recognize what a healthy lifestyle is. I know what I need to do. And I think all of us in this room right now are at that point where, like, we know what we need to do. We need to eat healthy. We need to exercise regularly. And we need to, anytime somebody says, let me tell you about keto. Nope. Let me tell you about, whatever next thing, juicing, whatever.
Drunk page is super sassy, and I love it.
I love it. I'm here for it.
So, like, I think we're at that. All of us are kind of at that end result. It's just that the end result has ebbs and flows. Like you're not going to be your fittest 24/7, 365. Like that's just it's not feasible. Well, actually, that's not even that. That's your fittest, but not your healthiest. You're not going to be. You can be at your healthiest for your lifetime just because of the things that you do on the daily. You may not be at your fittest for your lifetime because that's just not sustainable constantly. So, yeah.
Love you, miss you.
That's all I got to say
I
about
love
that.
you. So, I have a question to kind of bring this back to
the
the powerlifting. So we talked about that briefly, and super excited. I'm also every day I'm super nervous just thinking about the day
I'm gonna
of.
lift more than you. I'm just kidding.
Damn it! All right, delete this whole episode.
Let's start over.
Start over. So my question is this: I know you've done one. Natalie's done one, and unless I missed it on one of the podcasts, my question is this: if you have one piece of advice to give to someone who's doing their first powerlifting meet, what is it?
Loose singlet.
No, you want a tight singlet for sure. That's hard. So, like, just on the day, so you don't embarrass yourself, like, go in knowing what attempts you need to make. Like, have them mapped out ahead of time based on your most recent 1 rep maxes and your most recent, like, sets of 3 training volume. So, like, your first attempt should be something that 100% you could do for 3 reps in a row. No questions asked. You can walk up there and pick it up. No problem. Like, it's just your primer.
Okay.
That's probably the number one thing, just so you don't
bomb out.
Just so you don't bomb out and kick yourself in the ass because you're like, oh, man, I just made a fool of myself in front of everybody. If you bomb out on number 2 or number 3, that's okay. Like, at least you got a number on the board.
Well, and that's not a bomb out. A bomb out would be if you missed all 3
Yeah,
attempts.
and what I mean is if you miss number 2 or number 3, okay, so be it. You're probably going to miss number 3 if you are really, really, like, going for a true new PR. Sometimes I'd say probably 1 out of 3 times you're going to miss it.
Okay.
Just depending.
I was hoping that would help. And it's great advice, but I'm still scared to death. I'm going to have nightmares about the first lift and just completely.
Okay, maybe I should take that back. Maybe I should eat that and say, like, you do this day in and day out, it's not going to be a big deal. Like, you're going to get out there and lift a bit, especially if you've done CrossFit and you've gone for a 1 rep max when other people are like, come on, Jason, pick it up, you can do it. Like, it's like that. So, like, you just, like, get all amped up and you're like, I'm going to fucking do this. And you just do it.
Well,
so,
here's
it's like
the good
Friday
news.
Night Lights energy.
Yeah, so I'm definitely excited for the energy. I know there's going to be a ton of energy. That'll be fun. And going into it, I have absolutely zero expectations going into this. So I'm not going into it trying to win my weight class because I know that's not a possibility. I didn't start lifting weights until almost 5.5 years ago. It was the first time I started working with a barbell. So I know that's not my expectation going into it. For me, it was just a brand new challenge. So still, the nerves are going to be there, just like anything.
The nerves are going to be there. And I can't say that, like, I really went through the experience of even what Natalie did, having a lot of people there because, yeah, we had a lot of spectators, but there was like, 5 or 6 of us actually competing in the meet.
there weren't
There was
very
like
many.
not very many competitors, but
We hope that's different this time.
there were a lot of people watching, and so that was one of the things is like, oh, you know. But I'm going to retract my answer one more time.
Oh, new answer.
I'm just going to give you a lot of advice. How about that?
Perfect.
Do a mock meet. I'm sure your guy probably has one scheduled for you probably within like 2 to 3 months out to test your attempts and kind of see where you're at, to see where you want to place your first attempts, but also to go through the calls. Once you unrack the bar, you get down into the bottom of your squat and make sure you're hitting that below parallel depth consistently, and most importantly on deadlift and bench that you are locking your rep out, waiting for the down call.
Yeah, you've got to wait for the commands.
To
That's the
wait
big
to
part.
bring your bar back down. Like have somebody there commanding you during your mock meet to know that you're down, and then sit your bar down. And on your bench, bring it out. I don't remember if SPF, this is something that you and I both need to do, is look up, because sometimes they'll say down on your bench and sometimes you just unrack it and you go. And then you bring it down to your chest and they'll say press, and then you can bring it up, and then they'll say rack, and then you have to wait for them to say rack it to bring it back. That's what gets most people hung up, like either the press command on bench or the rack command, because they'll press it up and they'll walk it out and they'll just bring it back to the rack. It's like, no good, doesn't count, even though you had a perfectly good bench press. Like, you have to wait on those commands. So that's another thing that can potentially cause you to miss a lift.
Okay.
So I have a question for Michael about powerlifting that might help Jason. Y'all have to wear singlets. So as a man with dangly bits, what kind of underwear do you wear
This is my
so the
favorite
dangly bits aren't hanging out?
You've got a singlet on. The singlet is the
Yeah, I
dangly
just wore
bit holder.
normal boxer briefs underneath the singlet, and I mean everybody's dangly bits are out. You're just one of the crowd.
Yeah,
You're just
but
one of
like-
many
Well,
dangly bits.
if you normally wear boxers, don't wear boxers. Boxer briefs.
I
are the way
mean,
to
you
go.
wear underwear with
Yeah,
the
wear
just
wear underwear.
whatever you
but-
normally wear,
but
just wear
not
that.
boxers, not straight up cotton flowy boxers.
No, that's a great question because I've never worn a singlet. Yeah, I would not know that.
Yeah, make sure that your singlet is approved for the federation.
Yeah.
Make sure if you can wear knee sleeves, make sure those are approved. Your wrist wraps, your belt. What else? That's it. You have to.
This is stressing
you have to
me
have-
out,
You have
Paige.
to have socks on.
Let me
for
ask
your
you a couple
deadlifts.
questions.
Like
I'm
go through the.
Let me ask Jason a couple questions because I think you may be giving him too much information. Are you planning on using knee sleeves?
For your squat.
I signed up for a certain category, and I believe knee sleeves
Was it
were.
raw?
Okay. Are you planning on wearing knee wraps or elbow wraps?
No.
Then you probably don't need to know any of that. Just
Just
know
sleeves.
that
You need to
there's
know the knee
you need to know the
sleeve.
belt. If you're not planning on wearing knee sleeves, then
No, you
There's
need to
nothing
know
to-
the belt, your singlet, your sleeves, your socks, and
Okay.
your shoes. 5 things.
Okay.
we'll make a list for you.
Oh boy. Here we go.
And whether or not your heels have to be down on the bench or not, like
Nightmares.
no, it's not that bad, honestly. Like this is so you have to look up the guide, what is it, the rule book for SPF. You got to look up the rule book for SPF beforehand, and then just make sure that you're doing all those things and actually practice it in the month beforehand. At least a month of practice by the rule book.
So I think mine. I don't know. I mean, I guess there's definitely categories where you wear knee wraps, elbow wraps, wrist wraps. What else did you say? I know the belt is definitely the one.
The
Like almost
socks.
everybody's going to be wearing a belt
Yeah.
and also socks.
You have to have socks that go to a
But
certain
not
height.
everybody's going to be wearing knee wraps, are they? Not everybody.
No, I was saying sleeves. Like your sleeves have to fit. If he's gonna wear sleeves on his squat, which
Yeah.
most people do, just to get that extra little advantage, like you have to have a certain millimeter length of sleeve.
Okay. I think that all does sound kind of scary, but
It's
I
not that
really
bad.
don't think it's that big of a
It's
deal.
not that bad.
And most people, if it's their first meet, they're probably not going to be wearing knee wraps or wrist wraps anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But if you were planning on doing both of those things, just check the rule books.
Yeah.
The
And
belt.
if you have a question, you'll be able to ask Paige and she can answer
Yeah.
the question for you.
Just
Tim-
read the rule book for the federation that you're competing in, and like read the class that you're competing in. So if you're
Yeah.
in raw, if you're in equipped, if it's your first meet, don't fucking do equipped right out of the gate.
Yeah. I think the big one for anybody that's coming from CrossFit is going to be the belt, because we're used to using thin fabric Velcro belts, but in powerlifting, they're specific that it has to be a leather belt with a buckle. So that's probably going to be the big
And a
one.
certain width.
Right. So that'll be the big one that for Jason, I'm sure. But yeah, I guess there's.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Like I said,
Yeah.
you have to practice with those items for at least a month to 3 months leading up to the meet, so you just get really used to it, and then you don't have any issues. Like you do that on the daily. Every time you do a bench press, a comp style bench press, you pause on your chest as if you're waiting for somebody to give you a command before you press up. If you're just banging the weight off your chest, sorry, bruh, doesn't count.
Clang and bang.
Well, now I think the big one for me would be definitely practicing under the rule set, like. Wait for the commands. That's the big one. You got to wait for the commands. And so I think for your first attempts, just go slower than you think you need to. You know, just make sure you lock things out, or make sure you stand up and show control. And just take the first one slower than you think you need to. You know, make sure you listen, make sure you pay attention. I think that's really what it boils down to, is just make sure you pay attention and you'll do well.
Yeah, have Steven there to give you commands.
Yeah.
And practice
Well,
listening.
is he still going to be on vacation?
Yeah, so Steven actually had a vacation plan when I hired him to do this, and he was like, I will cancel. I said, absolutely,
During the
you will
meet?
not. Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
so actually Michael's going to come up, or at least connect with Steven. So Michael, day of, is going to be my coach.
So he still is on
Fancy.
vacation, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And unless that's changed. And,
Cool.
you know, up to this point, we've really just kind of been building that foundation. We're getting really close to going for some
You've probably been in a
PRs, one rep
hypertrophy
max.
phase, or are you in a strength phase right now, or?
Well, this week, like, I had sets of 30 on back squat.
Okay, you're
and
not.
push press.
You're in your.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Glad
Sets of
that's you
30.
and not me.
Oh my God! And it was 3 sets of 30 in 4.5 minutes.
Sweet Jesus.
Yeah, so
shit.
I joke with them all the time. I'm like, man, your CrossFit is really coming out in this powerlifting training. It's like you're trying to sneak this shit in on me, bro.
This
funny.
powerlifting feels a lot like CrossFit, bro.
So it's funny because I've gained weight, I've put on weight, but my body fat percentage has barely come up.
I would
So
say you're gonna go back into CrossFit and just kick everybody's ass. Like,
we'll see. I may never go
Oh,
back.
yeah.
I'm
You
really,
have not left CrossFit, dude. I promise you.
cool.
No.
Well, I can't wait to see like how your next phase of training goes.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's again. It's
We're gonna do a little. Well, I don't want to spoil it. I think we were thinking about doing a little mock meet beforehand, just to practice commands and stuff. So if you
Okay.
you can come down for that, you don't
Okay.
actually have to like do a max or anything, but just practice the command movements.
I think that's going to be super important for anybody
Yeah.
that's doing this for the first time, is actually being there under those conditions and listening for commands.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. And I'm going to approach this one a little differently than the last powerlifting meet, because I'm, like you said earlier, like you're kind of just like, I need a new challenge. Well, I'm kind of tired of training for powerlifting, so I've gone down to only doing my powerlifting lifts 3 days a week, and I'm doing CrossFit twice a week. So I'm just kind of supplementing that in there. But obviously, I'm not going to do like Friday night. Last night we did 21.2. And then next week I'll probably do the next open workout. But from there, I'm not going to really like waste my muscle endurance and power, explosiveness, and stuff like that in the CrossFit workout. But I'm still get that that cardio component from it, and have some fun with the class a couple times a week at least, because I'm getting sick of training by myself, or even with Ada. Like I love you, Ada, but it gets boring after a while, you know.
Absolutely. No, I get it. I'm not to that point yet, but you've been doing it much longer than I have, so I get that for sure. So is Ada's doing it? You're doing it. Is Natalie doing this
Yep.
one? Is there anyone else from the gym that's thrown their name in?
There's been a couple other people that have shown
There's
interest.
definitely been some interest, but I don't think any of them have signed up yet. I know Jackson is talking about doing
Oh
it.
yeah, I bet Jackson does it.
Has Taylor talked to you about it?
She
has
shown
showed a lot of interest. But...
Yeah, but I just haven't seen her much lately.
Okay.
So there's two I'm working on. So if you see them around town, shame them into it.
Okay.
Brian Montgomery.
I think
Oh,
he's
yeah.
doing it.
I think
Okay.
he's.
He told me he is.
He said he was going to, and then he's kind of I'm thinking about it, and then
Does he have commitment issues?
yeah, I think we know the answer to that one. How many 5 a.m.s has that man canceled?
Monty, he's shaming you.
Canceled or no showed?
Oh yeah.
What are you asking
There
here?
is a difference. There is a
Whatever it
difference
is,
for sure.
he's holding the torch in both of them.
Love you, Monty. And also, just saw him today. Mr. Will Yarborough is considering
I think
it.
Will is. I mean, he's been doing a lot of. I don't know. Just from his Instagram, looks like he's planning to do it.
Absolutely. I mean, those guys would absolutely crush it. I'd love to see them.
I would
jump
love
in
to
it.
see them do some max on the
Yeah,
powerlifting meet.
I
absolutely.
asked
would be
Nash
fun.
about it a couple weeks ago, and he's like, "Nah, I'm not gonna do it." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Come on, Nash."
He was thinking about it recently, but who knows?
Well, I know we're hyping them all up, but
If one of
I
them
will
does it, the
still-
rest of them will. I bet.
I'll continue to say this. If it's your first powerlifting meet, don't go into it expecting to do well. Just don't. Go in and expect to have fun. That's because, honestly, you might find that you like it. But if you go in expecting to do well, then you're probably just going to get frustrated because you're going to go in with all kinds of expectations on your head, and then you probably just won't live up to the expectations that you set for yourself, and then that almost guarantees that you won't like it. So go in, go to have some fun, make yourself a reasonably decent game plan, but just go to have fun, and you may really like it and want to pursue it in the future, but don't go in too hard on your first one.
Yeah, that reminds me of my first CrossFit Open. I was like, I think it was 16.1, I guess.
That sounds right, yeah.
Yeah, so 16.1.
Oh, you would have been fresh, too, because
Yeah, I'm at home. I'm like,
Maybe
I'm
6
gonna
months in?
crush this. I'm listening to music. I'm like, I'm probably going to make it to regional this year. There's a good chance. There's a good chance I have found my calling. And so I go into the gym, and I'm not exaggerating at all. I've got music in my ears. I'm into it.
you were in
And
straight up LeBron mode, weren't
I
you?
was, yeah. Got the hoodie on, just feeling it. 16.1, whoops my ass. Absolutely whoops my ass.
Do you remember what it was?
I don't know. I have
Whatever it
completely
was, kicked
erased
your ass.
the memory. I have memories all the way up until the workout started. And then I erased every single thing. So,
Hilarious.
but it didn't crush me. I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I got some work to do.
You just realized you weren't going to
17.1,
regionals.
here I come.
Oh, here's the reason why you don't remember it is because it's an AMRAP of 20 minutes, 25-foot overhead.
This was the
walking
overhead walking
lunges,
lunges.
Yes.
This was your
8
first
man, I
one.
love
bar-facing
that one.
burpees,
Damn.
and then 8 chest-to-bar pull-ups.
Yes, I
loved
do remember that one.
workout. Oh, it was good.
Yep. And you know what? That makes sense because anything overhead, I struggle with so bad. So maybe it's because that's my Vietnam. Is the 16.1. I go back to that.
Especially back then, like you had really shitty mobility.
Oh, I
back
still
then.
do. Let's be honest.
You've definitely
Oh,
improved,
brother, it's gotten
but-
way better.
It's better, but it's still, I chalk that up to being 41.
Ah, no,
All right,
that can always
yeah.
be improved.
So we're just going to keep using that crutch, okay? Okay, let me have it.
Let me have it. That's funny. All right, we should wrap this up. I gotta pee and I'm hungry.
All
and
right.
we got a dinner date.
Yeah, 41 minutes
you
ago.
guys- Are you guys going to
Yeah,
to
let's go to
Watami?
Watami.
What are you doing, Jason? You want to go to
Let's go to
Watami?
Watami.
Yeah.
Or do you have to go straight back?
I think,
He's gonna party late tonight.
yeah. I may stay up till 10
You
tonight.
can sleep with.
Ooh,
You can sleep in our spare
he's staying
bedroom
up
with
until
our
10.
cat.
Oh, no. Oh, no. That's not happening.
All right,
Fine.
let's sign this thing off. Jason, it was great to have you on the podcast.
Super great.
We got to do this one
Good
again,
combo.
but next time with your lovely wife.
This is gonna be our most famous episode ever, I bet. Well, for
Two
now.
episodes.
Up until
Hopefully
now.
not. We were
Up
talking
until
about
now.
ass whistles and all this, so hopefully this one just slides under the radar.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming, Jason.
Yeah. All right.
We're
We'll call
outta
it quits there. We're going to go get something to eat. So we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.